to the Insomniac Show with Nicolette and Brian. We'll get real deep with you, educating, inspiring, and solving problems with some of the most inspirational humans on the planet. Buckle up and come on the journey.
I'm excited. All right, guys, I'm Nicolette, and today Brian and I are here with Tara Eusebi. She is the founder and chief blesser over at Bless, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her app and how she's spreading goodness throughout the world. So I'm excited about that. Thank you so much, Tara, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you both, Nicolette and Brian, for having me. What a privilege and honor to be with you today. I am so grateful for the opportunity to share about this.
So why don't you kick us off? Tell us about the app. Tell us about your journey to Bless, because I believe you were doing some other stuff before you kicked this off, right?
Sure. Yeah, that's correct. Actually, like most of us at some point in our lives working corporate America, we do our daily 9 to 5, got to get the bills paid, that kind of thing. And, I've been working some form of job since 16, and just in that kind of, just doing what you're supposed to do, I guess you could say. But as time had gone on, I just didn't feel really satisfied. I think a lot of people get that way where you hold different positions and maybe even strive for management, thinking this could be the answer. And, that's where I was in my life, and different management roles and that kind of thing, and really successful, but just not feeling like this is it. Just there's got to be something more than this. And then there was a moment in time when I was asked a question that literally changed my course. And, it was on a morning before going to work, and somebody asked me, they said, what is your passion? What is it that you ultimately want to do? And without hesitation, I said, you know what, if I could do anything, I would just go bless people. And I just started naming off, all these people that I would go help if I didn't have to go to work. This was my heart. I didn't even realize it, but it was so deep on the inside that when that question was asked, it just prompted, the immediate answer. And I rattled off all these names and how I would help. And then I went off to work. And I thought, what could ever come of this? Like, this is crazy. Like, good luck with that. And some months passed, and it just never stopped growing on the inside. Like this idea, this vision, this passion that was put inside of me, it just kept coming up. And I was in the market one day, just picking up some things. And I just had this thought: if you knew that the person you're passing here in the market had a need that you could help with, would you help? And I thought, yeah, I would totally help. But how could I know what people really need? And then the idea for Bless as a mobile app started to come alive on the inside of me. I thought, you know what? We need a platform where people can go and share their needs, where people can go and offer to help others before they even ask for help, so that we can come together and help one another. It's really just threaded in our very being to be this way, to lock arms, be there for one another when we need help, which is actually all the time. We all have needs. I mean, here Nicolette sharing before we go live about the challenges she's facing today, and my heart's just going, how can I fix this? Like, what can I do? Can I somehow, help teach her son, his school lessons to alleviate this burden on her?
Yeah, if you're local, you could probably go babysit.
Exactly. And so these are the needs of humanity, but we've gotten to such a place as a society where we don't ask for help. We think we can handle it all. We think for some reason we have to handle it all. And so Bless is this platform where you can go and share a need without judgment, and but not without accountability, because we realize that there are people in the world that have perpetual needs, and we don't want them to think you can just come here and just utilize this system. We actually want to better your lives. So we want to hold you accountable to the point where you start to understand and realize that we all have something to give. It doesn't matter what stage in life you're at. There's a gift, a talent. There's something that you can offer, whether it's a helping hand or a listening ear that someone else needs. So there's a whole retraining of humanity that's behind this whole thing to help people to understand, yes, come and share your needs without judgment, but we want to help you up. We want to help you to better your lives, no matter what stage you're at in life, which is so powerful. It's just amazing how this is kind of evolving into what it's supposed to be.
So what do people come to the app, right? What do people come to the app asking for help? Like what type of things?
Anything that you can think of, really. I mean, we've got people that may need clothes. I have someone just recently on there asking for a laptop. I've had people asking for iPads. I've had people asking for a helping hand. They need a truck to help move things. I mean, it's literally anything that you can think of, and I love to get on there and offer to meet a need, which you can also do, which is my favorite part, because then you don't have to wait for someone to ask for help. You can say, this is how I want to help. This is how I can be available to help. Or, you know what? I just cleaned out my closet and I've got all these clothes. Instead of just looking to get rid of them, I would rather give on purpose, with purpose, to change a life and impact generations. And so then you can offer your clothes, your shoes, whatever it could be, furniture. You can do all that through the app, connect with other people in your local community and beyond to change lives. I mean, I've even had food delivered from California to New York for someone in need that needed groceries, because we have such technology that we can help each other around the world, and it can all be done through Bless.
That is so cool. I was going to ask what kind of really, have there been any things that have occurred on the app that have kind of blown you away? Like, have you seen any instances where you're just like, wow, like, look at this in action,
Yeah, a lot, and it's been shocking, because originally when I first was setting up to launch the app into the Apple app and Google Play Store, this was March 25th, 2019, that we would go live. And my developer and I were talking, and he said to me, Tara, if we could touch and change just one life. And it touched my heart so deeply, because that's my heart. Like, if I could create this app to impact one person, it's worth it all. Well, we've done many more since then, and we're just barely beginning, like, for real. I feel like we're still in almost not an infant stage anymore, but maybe not quite toddler yet. But yes, I mean, last year COVID hit the world, it hit and impacted a lot of people. And there was a young girl in South Carolina that shared an urgent need on Bless. And she said that she was about to be evicted. I mean, like, literally down to the wire. Their state happened to be one of those that the eviction, they were able to evict, even though in most states that wasn't taking place. And so she was desperate. It was her and her 8-month-old baby. They needed $1,500. And, an important part of Bless is we have a system in place called Vouch for Me, because we want people to build trust. We want to make sure people aren't being scammed. We want to make sure the stories are legit. And as people start to learn how to use this, because I have the ability to do so now, what I'll do if they haven't used that yet is vet them myself. And so I reached out to her because her need really touched my heart. And I said, I want to hear your story. What's going on? What have you tried? Have you reached out to the different government programs, et cetera? Well, she had exhausted everything and was trying to get a job, had lost her job due to COVID. I mean, on and on and on. So I thought, okay, you know what? It was just on my heart. Let's share this need further, because that's something you can do through the app. You can actually share a post to Facebook or other social media platforms. So I did that, and I thought, you know what? Let's just see what happens. And hours went by and nothing. I said in the post, I said, look, if 150 of my nearly 1,500 friends, or I'm sorry, 5,000 friends here on Facebook could just give up $10, we could save this mom, and her baby from being evicted. And nothing for 2 or 3 hours. And I thought, oh gosh, like, I really want to help her. And then all of this sudden, I was getting comment after comment after comment of people saying, done. They sent money. Other people saying, can you come meet me? I want to give to her too. And here I am in California, but it was a coordinated effort. Within 24 hours, guys, we exceeded her need. We saved her and her baby. And the part that really impacted me the most was that she wanted to stay in touch with me, because for the sake of her son, so that he would know about this as he grew up and he would carry it on. That's where we get to changing lives and impacting generations through the power of Bless. I mean, there's so much power behind when we actually set out to meet needs with intention. It's amazing. It's really amazing. And then restoring her faith in humanity, where here you have perfect strangers that are giving to her. I mean, what's $10? But if 150 of us do it, all of a sudden this
Right.
massive need is nothing and it's met, So
Mhm.
this is the power behind this concept. But it could be something as simple as like, there was a high school graduate. She was getting ready to graduate, had been wanting an iPad, and the parents couldn't afford one. So they shared it on Bless. And, someone came and gave, it was used, but you should have seen the look on the kid's face, man. I mean, this young kid with little hope, couldn't do prom, couldn't do, any of the things you should be able to do your senior year, but she got an iPad. And most of us have the old one sitting on the shelf somewhere collecting dust, right?
Yeah. Yeah. How many iPhones do we all have sitting in a drawer, right?
Exactly. And these people need them. So it's that
Mhm.
kind of thing. It has so much power in it when you set out to give on purpose with purpose in this way.
Oh, that's awesome. And what's amazing about it is just you're gonna make Nicolette cry, by the way. I could see
Yeah,
her
I
face.
do that a lot.
but it's just amazing how those little tiny gestures, make such a difference, in people's lives. People don't realize, it's not giving someone, $100,000 or $1 million. It's sometimes these little gestures that actually change people's lives and also change their outlook on life, which is super important. 'Cause some people, they get to the point of feeling hopeless, and just something that simple could just help them.
Yeah, that. And what I've realized even more that helps people is they just need to know someone's there. So
Mhm.
oftentimes when needs are shared, I just reach out. Every person that gets on Bless hears from me because I care that they're there. Like I'm grateful. And so if I see a need shared, I'll just check in on people. And sometimes I can't help meet the need, but I'll just let them know that someone's there. How are
Mhm.
you doing? And person after person has just been so blessed by the fact that they have someone to chat with that
Hmm.
just loves unconditionally in a sense and just cares. And that's changed so many lives, just being available on chat on Bless to make an impact in that way. It seems so simple. It seems so irrelevant, but it has the power to even save a life. I really believe that.
Yeah. So now you said, and I didn't know this. I know there's where you have a section on like just listen or listening, right? On the app where people could listen. Is that where people could actually chat with each other if they need someone to just listen to them or hear them?
You can share a need, or you can say like, I need a listening ear. So you can
Right.
message, you can private message each other. So there's a whole messaging platform on Bless where you can message one another privately,
Mhm.
or we have groups on Bless too. So you can
Oh,
actually create private groups that can support one another in that way, where you can message back and forth in that fashion. So, you know, when I say listening ear, like if you need someone to talk to, that can be arranged, right? But we're such a text society
Mm.
that people need someone to chat with, and
yeah.
that for them is that listening ear. So you can definitely do that through the app as well.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
And that kind of, you're the second person, we had someone on here recently talking about kindness. And, one of the questions I asked was, how do you, you can't help everyone. You personally can't, you can't, every time somebody needs to, meet the rent or needs something, like you personally can't do that. How
That's
do you
right.
deal with that kind of not being able to help everyone, even though you want to, you
Right.
know?
Well, it's really what the vision of Bless is all about. So I have to take it back to that because it's not about me helping everyone. It's about communities coming together to help one another. And so the more people that we share this message with, the more people that jump on Bless, the more people that reach out, the more people that do what I'm doing, even if it's at a lesser degree. Can you imagine if each one of us every single day just touched one life, took 5 minutes to just
Mhm.
touch one life? This is where I have that hope, I guess you can say, to where I don't get overwhelmed with it. But there was a time where it was a little rough. I mean, I'd see these needs and almost like, okay, I'm the chief blesser. There's a responsibility. I created this platform, but I realized that no, that's not the focus of this. That's not what this is about. This is about bringing communities together to
Mhm.
help one another in every part of the world. Together we're stronger. Together that $1,500 turns into $10, right?
Mhm.
So it's breaking it down to a point where as a society we can do more together and it doesn't impact each individual so greatly. It's amazing, really, if that's the concept, really, is everyone get on board. Let's do this thing called kindness. Let's do this thing called being there for each other, and let's make a difference in our world.
So do you have a vision of kind of, do you want it to, like, how does it grow from here, right? Like, do you have a longer term vision of what you see this, or do you just kind of want to keep adding to this community for now?
You know, the long-term vision for Bless is vast. There's so much that I see for Bless. So there's a lot already happening. You know, that yes, there's the app, and the app will continue to grow. The more people that know about it, hop on it, use it, use it, share it, and repeat. Will continue to grow and expand. We already have people using the app in 6 out of the 7 continents of the world, people that have jumped on at some point or another. We're in nearly 1,500 communities at this point. So we're continuing to grow. And I know that Bless will get to a point where it can no longer be contained. You know, it's called wildfire, where all of a sudden, Bless is global. It's a household name that everyone knows. That will happen. I see that. You know, when you see it so big on the inside of you, nothing can stop it but you. And I'm not about to slow down. So this is where we're headed. And beyond that, you know, we're continually working to help people. So that's really the goal, is to make this a place where people can get the assistance they need. So we're working on something called community resources that we will soon be integrating into the app, so that if you are in a state of perpetual need, and maybe you need to know where a food giveaway is, or more assistance on shelter, that kind of thing, you can actually get those resources through Bless. And then beyond that, I do see Bless supply houses, which is going to be a really cool thing. You know, it'll be where people can give items. Maybe they're in a hurry, maybe they're moving and they have items they no longer need, and they just want to give them to Bless for Bless to pass along. So we'll have these supply houses in communities throughout the world. I'm going to start right here in California. Awesome. And this will be a place where people again can give, and then we can distribute to those in need, or people can come and essentially buy without money, you know, just come to be blessed. So there's that. Bless for Desktop is in the future. You know, we want this available for everybody. I don't want people limited by a mobile device. So that'll be something upcoming as well. And it really goes on and on from there. I mean, there's much more, but that's maybe now. It's big.
That's
my
awesome
goodness.
too, because you know, starting to create those community resources, it's not like, you know, it's a one-on-one, it's a whole community supporting, you know, the people, which is great. You know,
and I think that's a great way to kind of expand too, because as people are looking for those resources, they can start to come there for that, and then start to kind of take in what the community is all about. So if you become a resource center, that's a great way to kind of get people involved. That's awesome.
And I think what happens too is you also start, because you, especially that's so global, you start seeing where those needs are and where your warehousing has to be, right? These are the communities, or these are the areas of the country or the world where I'm going to build my next warehouse after California, you know? So it's awesome. You know, I mean, one of the amazing things I see, and I talk about this all the time with Nicolette, is like this singularity of focus. You are focused on this. And, you know, I truly believe when you have that singularity of focus on things, you know, the universe has its way of making it happen for you, you know? So it's really exciting to see this.
Oh, so you left your job, right? I know we were talking, how scary was that though, to do this from that? I mean, that must have been scary, and I don't want to detract from everything that's great about that. That's terrifying, right? It
was crazy. It's what I call crazy faith. You know, it was very terrifying. Thankfully, I have a strong family that support, you know, that didn't think, because they know, like they knew, but they didn't even know the vastness of it then. I didn't know the vastness of it then. I didn't know what it would become. I mean, this was just, you know, almost like a random idea. I think if I knew what it entailed, even to this point, I may have said, yeah, never mind, you know, because there's challenges. But for me, the whole, having your sight set on like being able to change lives one need at a time. Like if I can impact people like that, like how awesome is that? Like, you know, like where can you get more gratification? And so just knowing, really having this compelling force on the inside saying humanity is waiting for you to step into this. Wow. Like that's wild. And so that's what drives me on the daily, because literally humanity is waiting for this to become what it's supposed to be. But leaving my job was tough. It was, I mean, you're used to this forever. And even after I took that step and had that resignation notice, and I mean, I was shaken going into the office to give it to my boss. I knew in my heart it was the right thing to do, but your body is freaking out, like going, what are you doing? Are you nuts? And but then after I did it, okay, great. And but then even transitioning to now working from home, you know, doing that whole thing, I was challenged for months, just mentally, like, how dare you be working from home when your people you love are still working a 9 to 5? And I had to, like, I was challenged with that. I had to overcome feeling guilty about it, and overcome, you know, feeling like I was crazy, and just all of that. But
yeah, but your 9 to 5 probably turned into a 9 to 5 a.m.
24/7.
You know? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the beauties about being an entrepreneur. It's good and bad. Like, you're always working, you're always evolving your purpose, right? But you know, it's for you. And that's, I think, the craziest thing. Like, you're doing it for you. I mean, I know you're doing it for a bigger goal, but you're doing it for the dream you have, you know, for what you see, your purpose.
You know, and I can identify with that, because I really struggle with that as well. You know, my husband, he works and he wakes up super early in the morning, and he works and he's physically demanding, and I feel guilty. There are a lot of times I feel guilty, right? Like, I get to sit here and do this and have the best day. I mean, most days are the best days ever. But like, I love what I do. You know, I love what I do, and you know, he probably doesn't, right? But you know, a lot of people probably don't. But then I realized, like, we are not everybody's the same, right? Like, he wouldn't want to be doing this, you know. This is not for him. This is not what he'd want to be doing. He likes, you know, being able to leave work at work and just come home and be free, you know, like, that's his thing. So I started to kind of, like, ease that guilt for me. Like, he doesn't have to worry. Like, I worry, you know, I don't work, I don't make money, right? If he doesn't work, you know, he'll go to work tomorrow, and that's that, you know, they'll pay him tomorrow. So it's like, really, it's very different, but there are some personalities that this is just not for. So it made me feel a little bit better on the inside.
Yeah, well, that's true. It isn't for everyone. And, you know, there's a lot of risk that you take in stepping into something like this. And not everyone is built that way. That's just the reality of it. So, but you don't really understand it when you first initially make the transition. You kind of look at the benefits of it, like, oh, you know, I've got more maneuverability in my schedule. But at the end of the day, like Brian was saying, you know, this is 24/7. This wakes me up at night. This isn't something that I just, you know, can shut off or turn on whenever. It's constant, you know, and that's what it is when you're an entrepreneur. You're working to change lives in some form, you know, regardless of what your business is. It is about making that impact.
And I bet you feel more alive doing this than you ever felt at any day in your previous job.
It's the easiest work I've ever done in my life.
Exactly.
Because it's your passion. It just flows out of you. I mean, it's not hard. It just comes so naturally. But there are still challenges, and learning to, like, not to just kind of understand there's a process, understand there's a growth, and understand that you can't in a week go to 1 million users. Like, that's not going to happen. I mean, I remember after I first launched, laying in bed going, oh God, I just want 1 million users. And I heard this voice, are you ready for 1 million users? And I went, never mind. Like, you know, it's progressive. Like, and you just have to go through the progress of it. And for me, this shocks people when I say it, but I'm confident in this, because I know that I'm already successful. And the reason is because I said yes to this. I said yes to this passion, this loud passion on the inside, this call and assignment that was so big. So it's not like I'm waiting to be successful. The moment I said, I'll do it, done. And now it's just a progressive thing to build it into what it's supposed to be.
Absolutely. And, you know, and sheer respect, because you chose to quit what you were doing and go for your dreams, which is, you know, you know, you can't ask for anything more than that.
Well, Tara, we thank you so much for joining us, and we'd love it if you could tell everybody where they can learn more about Bless, and, you know, obviously go download the Bless app. Tell us what you got going on.
Sure. Everybody can head on over to bless-app.com. That's our website. From there, you can get Bless from the Apple app or the Google Play stores. You can also head directly to those stores and look up Bless. You'll see the black and white logo. Download the app and come be a part of the community. You know, we're really creating a new culture, which is what I love, you know, really retraining humanity. I want everyone to be a part. You can also follow Bless on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all those places at Bless mobile app. But anyone that connects to Bless will connect to me. I reach out to every brand new user that gets on the app to let them know I'm grateful that you're there and to see how I can help you. And you can also follow me though on Facebook. Anywhere you find Bless, you're going to find me, the Chief Blesser. So thank you guys so much for the privilege of speaking with you today and sharing this with you.
Thank you so
so
much.
much
Everyone, download this app
Yes,
right now.
please.
Right now. Go download this.